Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 in a best of 3 series between Age of Killer, aka Breeze Brothers, and Hazza. Spawning on the right-hand side of the map in the top here, we do indeed have Age of Killer. The map is Manchuria. Is Explorer, or War Chief I should say, getting out onto the map right away. Going to find some cows, and we'll take a look at the treasures that are available in just a moment, whilst his, of course, Travois. It will be used to construct a house, I expect, but for now, it can do some scouting and see what's up, what cows and things like that he might be able to find. His opponent, Hazza543211, playing as the French here, going for an early trading post, which his Explorer is now constructing in the bottom of the map there. His villager's going to gather some wood. And I think it's now time to turn the fog of war off and take a look around and see what treasures are nearby. 55 coin there, 20 coin here, and 90 wood. So I think this is the location that he'll head to next. He has seen it because he has a scout, of course. So I think Hazza will be heading over there in a moment, right? But the Haudenosaunee player, Age of Killer here, does pick himself up. Big, juicy wood treasure himself.
Yeah, so was that 90 wood he picked up there, Bruce?
Yeah, I think so. I can't check, I'm afraid, though.
Okay, just to clarify to everyone, Age of Killer goes by two names. He goes by Breeze Brothers, and he goes by Age of Killer. So if one of either me or Will even says Breeze, we're referring to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, picking up 90 wood early is Hodus. I can't say the same. But picking up as Breeze's Civ here is really strong. He can go for an early trading post. But I think actually he went for a dock early on. I think you can see there's a
villager standing on the coast there. I mean, there's a yak here that she could be gathering from, but
just further to the right, I think there's a dock already put down.
Oh yeah, there is. So that Travois, I thought it would come back to be a house, but no.
Right. So what you do here is Iroquois. I'm in the mindset of saying the old names. I've cast it so many times with it, but in the mindset of the Civ Breeze is playing, you can go for an early dock with that Travois, and you can pop out 3 or 4 fishing boats and sort of power up your early economy there, which is really nice. You can see Age of Killer going for actually 3 fishing boats, shipping I think that's 3 villages. And just getting up to the next edge. You are slightly slower to the second age. You tend to go with the slow age up, and he's actually going to lose his war chief here, which is quite huge. I think Hazza looks like he's France there, and 100 XP for France early on, especially with that early trading post about 200 wood where you always get.
Nicely done though. He's going to draw aggression from the Mongol riders. Unfortunately though, was trying to get the Mother Nature units to get the kill on his Explorer so that the XP would not go to green. Unfortunately, didn't quite manage to time that, but a nice attempt either way. Yeah, Hazza going to be really pleased with that extra 100 XP. That's going to be really helpful. And look at this, he's starting to gather these yaks to get up on time, get up a bit sooner, make sure everything goes smoothly, as well as 75 food. Really, really nice.
Yeah, 75 food, nice and early on, especially seeing as I think Hazza sort of knows that Breeze is known for playing in such a sort of turtly playstyle. Right? Hazza's probably going to go forward. He's going to be putting a forward Vax down or something like that, and getting some pressure on. Especially seeing as how late he's aging. I mean, it's 3 minutes now, and I don't think Age of Killer is going to be aging anytime soon. Losing that Explorer early on, you won't get any scouting for the orange player here.
Going up late, but going to go up with a messenger.
So he's going on okay, that's quite smart. So if you got up with a messenger, obviously it's a lot quicker. I think it's 90 seconds normally for an age 2, age 1 to age 2. It might be 60 seconds. I can't remember exactly.
It's definitely more. I think it's 90 or more actually.
Yeah, but the messengers, well, I think 15 seconds, like 20 seconds. It's really quick.
I think it might be even 100 seconds or something. But as you were, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you get that Travois with every single age up as Breeze's Civ, so he's going to go forward actually by the looks of it. And actually might be aggressive himself, which would be quite interesting to see. I mean, you see Hazza going for that second TP at the bottom there. Normally you don't go for a second TP in transition as France, but because the TP line on this map is so defensive, I believe this is Mendocino, from off the top of my head.
Manchuria.
Is it Manchuria? Okay.
Yeah.
Some of them, yeah, it is Manchuria. Yeah, it's Manchuria in the original as well. But yeah, that TP line is actually incredibly easy to defend because it's behind your base. So getting a stagecoach on that is quite good. One thing to note is the stagecoach on that line is actually worse than normal stagecoach. It's I think it's ever so slightly worse. It's sort of 10-15% worse than normal stagecoach.
Oh, is that performed by the map itself rather than?
I think it's the map itself, which is actually different.
Oh, I see. Interesting. So that route is actually, I suppose, though, it is very, very defendable, like you said. So makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, it's defended. It's very, very easy to defend. We do see that Booze has got his Explorer back up, which is nice with that Travois when it came forward, and
France
has a Wolf Scout that forward base.
France now up to the next stage. 4 CDB as his first shipment, followed by 700 wood, 400 wood on the floor there, and sort of macroed for Hussar production by the looks of it. He's got sort of evenly split on food and coin. We'll see what his first military production building is in just a moment to make sure that is the case. And then we'll take a look at Breeze, I suppose. But, oh no, barracks going down in the back there, so it looks like he's going to get that.
The barracks makes more sense. Really, the Tomahawks that Age of Killer Civs has here, they're not really very good against Musketeers, and you can see them walking out there. They've changed quite a lot in appearance, actually, Tomahawks, but they're still the same unit. They're not very good at range, but they're really, really good in hand combat. So if you go Hussars against Iroquois, I can't get out of this chap of saying the same name of the Civ.
Yeah, it's Haudenosaunee, if you need help. Well, we called the Iroquois Eros, so I suppose we could shorten that too. We shorten a lot of the, but yeah, that Haudenosaunee is how you pronounce it if you're struggling.
Yeah. I think it would just. I need to get it in my mind when it's different, but
yeah, you've casted thousands of games, so I can understand why it's difficult to get to it. But yeah, I help you out. Don't worry, buddy. But yeah, look at these Kanya horsemen charging around inside the base here, as well as these muskets. So, pardon me, tomahawks. Well, they are essentially muskets, blocking these villagers, making it very difficult for Hazza to sort of get anything out. We'll switch over to him though. 5 muskets do arrive, but as we saw, his second shipment was 700 wood. So. Here, these muskets, if all the orange units go in, are going to be able to clean them up rather easily, and there won't be any Minutemen. No coin, no food to do that.
Yeah, it does get great coats in, which is quite a good idea. You can tank those CDBs really easily. They have, I think, 248 HP or something when you can pull them in and out of the town centre. But it does need to be careful here. I mean, there's a lot of those cannons still left. I think there's 3 left there still. 2 of them are low HP. He's going to lose a villager here. And actually might lose a second one as well. Unfortunately, we can't really see with a UI how many villagers he's actually lost, but I think he's lost at least 1 or 2. And I think Age of Killer is going to be happy with this. You have to remember he is a little bit on water himself, so his economy isn't hurting. Doesn't have the TP line actually, though. Notably, not having a TP as Aero is pretty peculiar. Normally, even if you go for that water strategy, you tend to go for a TP in transition.
Yeah. But it looked like he wanted to be. I guess though he aged up with a messenger, so it made it really challenging to get enough wood to do that. And as we saw, he started with the dock, so. It's just challenging to get enough wood for that, but you know he's making good use of it. Even if he hasn't got a TP, he's making good use of what of that age up. He's got plenty of units here. He's managed to kill, we think 2 villagers. Gonna be able to get this market down as well, which has us placed out here, supplying him sort of line of sight, and he's buying him some time here. But
that's a weird placement for a market.
It is. I was trying to come up with good reasons why it was there, but they didn't convince me. They didn't convince you. So
I think Hazza may have been herding a. Yeah, he must have just been herding a hunt and then put a market there just out of neglect or something. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. He got his upgrades in there.
Crossbowman's coming in now, which I think is really necessary. He's got 5 musks in queue. He's got the crossbowman. He's got a few crossbowmen out already. This time he will be able to get Minutemen, and I think that's what he's going to look to do. Sort of create a big batch of units all at once. Combine the Minutemen with these 5 muskets. He's calling them a bit sooner. The crossbowmen, I know he's cancelled them, so he doesn't think he needs them just yet.
Yeah, and there's actually, there's no stable on the field for the orange player here. So realistically, I mean, those 5 musketeers, if they can be microed correctly with a Minutemen as well as TC fire, are going to be able to take out that canyon mass.
Here we go.
Getting the
crossbowmen arrive, Minutemen arrive, and it looks like he's going to be able to clean this up. Those tomahawks on the retreat there, and as you said, like his explorer didn't manage to get a big blast off. However, the Haudenosaunee player did force that crossbowman shipment, right? So it's not like he's
you can. The thing is, the macro here for Hazza, it looks like he's going to age. He's sending, I think, 700 coin now.
Yeah.
Probably will take those villagers off the coin. Yeah, you can see he's now switching some villagers off. Does have probably put a musketeer in queue just to be safe. And he's going to age up here. He's going to have cuirassiers, he's going to have dragoons, and he's going to have falconets. And what can the orange player really do with his civ? He hasn't got the eco behind this. He does have those couple of fishing boats extra, but that TP line, that stagecoach line, has been working for Hazza all this time, and it just the economic advantage of a stagecoach line, even if it's only a 2 stagecoach line with a lesser income. Actually, that's not even a stagecoach.
No, it's just XP at the moment, but it's still a decent bonus, especially if you want to get Fortress. I think that's, you can't understate that. Obviously, stagecoach would be ideal, but there was quite a lot of pressure from Age of Killer early on, so he managed to perhaps delay that and to the point that he's not been able to upgrade it, and we thought that he had. And that market's down as well. I wonder what upgrades he's got on these. So I'm not sure, but it's at 1.35 food per second. Perhaps the chat can figure out if he's got steel traps for us based on the Carreras. I would expect that he does, though. But yeah, I think he's in a fine spot. He's managed to deflect the pressure. I think that 8 crossbowman shipment he sent, it's okay because he had those trading posts, so doesn't matter. He's still got plenty of stuff when he gets up to Fortress, and that's where he's going to be in approximately, well, he's aging, no, he's got aging fast. He'll be there very, very soon.
And yeah, he's gonna be Fortress. He's gonna have by the looks at Falconets coming out relatively soon because he's adding in more Musk, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep on making this. I'm gonna have to sit down with myself and try and fix my my thoughts and not saying the wrong word for this civ. But
I'd say just don't dwell on it too much would be my advice. Let's go on. Tell us what's going to happen.
The orange player only has infantry here. He's now putting down, I think that's a corral, so he is going to get some Kanya down. But actually, no, it's a warhawk. It does have a corral on the right hand side there. But I mean, what is 5 Kanya going to do against the musketeer mass and falconets, which is just going to blow away all of these hyenas and tomahawks?
Yeah. He's definitely, like, the falconets is the thing to watch here, and is the thing that's going to be very, very powerful, especially with all of these muskets. The one thing the Age of Killer will have going for him, though, or I suppose it's the one thing Hazza actually lacks, is there's no veteran musketeers. It's just ordinary muskets. So if he can somehow get rid of those cannons, this army's not super terrifying. It's not like he's been training skirmishes. This is all just colonial stuff that's sort of harder to, or easier to deal with, isn't it? Not as... So there is that. But here are the cannons. They are arriving, and they are going to be very, very frightening. Let's switch over to Age of Killer and see how he's going to handle it. Batch of bowmen just arrived as a shipment, that is, and has Aena and queue at both war huts as well as a Kanya horseman there. So the question is, can he handle it?
Yeah, I mean, he does have Aenas in there. We'll have probably a batch of 10, hopefully, for him coming out right now. I don't know if he's used a big button. I think he might have done. But, I mean, Falconet's getting good shots off. And actually, he's just going in here. There's Kanya behind, but the Falconets are sort of covered, even if they're only covered by a couple of musketeers and those crossbow. Those Kanya aren't getting the shots off that they need. They do have...
but he's drawn aggro from the treasure. So, and they're actually focusing the Falconet by the looks of it. So he's got Mother Nature on his side. This is fantastic. And that is the benefit of placing the war high space next to that outpost. And this is a rehashed EP map, by the way. So yeah, I'm loving how this treasure's suddenly become relevant. Thankfully, though, the muskets are able to clean that up for him, and the Falconet is still relatively healthy. So there is that going. But I think Age of Killer, look at that. He's not got very many units left. This colonial, commerce age agenda has not really worked out too well. And that is at the end of that. GG. Yeah, the Falconets just, these buildings going to go down. His corral is sort of there as well in the middle of the map. All these buildings going to go down and up against Fortress Age units with no hope of getting there himself. I think that is the end of the game here. Quick 1-0 so far to Hazza. Game number 1. Do you want to take a look at the post game, or should we just head on into game 2? We've got that ready to go ASAP. It was quite a quick game after all.
I don't think I can actually cast for next game, as I've sort of double booked myself. I've got a Counter-Strike tournament to play.
Oh, and, good lord.
I completely forgot I actually had it. So I think Trevor is actually going to join you instead.
Oh, okay. I'm down with some.
Had the time. But just to comment on that game, I think Age of Killer was maybe slightly too greedy, actually, with that sort of dock start and not going for the for the trading post line behind, and actually not taking out Hazza's trading post line when he could have done, instead of taking out that random mid-map market.
Oh, Russia. Interesting.
All right, yeah, I'll leave you now.
Thank you very much, Riot. I will...
short and sweet.
My headset fell off. Cool. I'm going to mute the stream very briefly. We're going to bring Comet K in, and then we'll get into this game here, which will be, I'll show you guys, it'll be Russia versus British on Punjab, a.k.a. Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for casting.
Yeah, good stuff. Cool. Catch you later, Riot. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm now joined by Comet K. This is a bonanza of different people. Welcome, Trevor. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. How about you, Will?
Yeah, I'm having... It's been a long time since I casted, and man, having H2O back to cast some games is a lot of fun. Shall we get into this, though? It is Russia versus British on Punjab. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side of the map. In the color orange, we do indeed have Ageofkiller. Plenty of crates there, as per how Russia usually starts. And this is slightly different, as we covered in the previous games. There are now cows in the river, and you start with a Mango Grove rickshaw, which is where both players, I imagine, will send that to begin with. You don't need that extra wood that it can transform into to begin with. Let's get some cows, that kind of thing. But, yep. However, his opponents, Hazza543211, playing as the British this game off the back of a quick victory in the previous one. Going for 80 wood right off the bat there. And his Mango Grove rickshaw sort of in the center of the map. He's found himself 80 coins, so another big treasure. Take a look around for some other treasures that might be interesting. 5 population there, 65 coin. Nothing absolutely huge, although down here 100 food, that's a really, really good one. I think... Oh, and up here as well, a wound... Oh no, it looked like it was another wood treasure, but wounded tiger there. So I think the treasures to look out for is that wood treasure. And indeed this, where was it? The 100 food down the bottom.
Absolutely, and it does seem as though Hazza is chopping that little bit of wood to build a third manor in the colonial age, or pardon me, the exploration age. Of course, he's playing the British in this matchup. That was his locked civilization. Ageofkiller Breeze was the one to counterpick, and he chose Russia. And this is a pretty classic matchup. I think contemporarily, most top players consider it favorable for the Russian side, but you know, in my personal experience, I've always found it pretty difficult to, you know, combat the British civilization as Russia. And so I think we're going to see a really interesting game here.
Yeah, up in the top here, going for 70 food, a misplaced basket of mangoes. I love the treasures. We'll see how it goes. Russia, though, I am interested to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a mage up with 400 wood, sort of as usual. But there is a new politician. I'm not sure it lends itself to being aggressive too well. It's a politician that's more going to give you a way to do a 17 villager age up. It grants you a blockhouse wagon, and it makes all of your blockhouses support 5 additional population, so 10 total, which means you can sort of build more blockhouses instead of houses, and perhaps do something a bit more defensive, and that blockhouse synergy actually works out really well with Russia's revolution options. It's to give them a sort of more economic agenda, do something like that, although I'm not convinced it is better than 400 wood, and certainly in this matchup, being aggressive is definitely the more powerful thing to do against an opponent who positions themselves as the player that's going to build lots of mana, is going to spam lots of villagers. So unlikely to see that politician here, but that's not really the right matchup for it. The Mango Grove, however, is placed in the back as a defensive wood source. I really like how the Mango Groves are being used so far. I mean, we've seen them in the early game. You use them to sort of scout and get some cows, and then later on, players have been using them as a forward line of sight since they're indestructible. They actually can't be killed. And then other players are using them as part of their base building to sort of block the front of their base to stop cavalry from coming in as easily. And here we're seeing it just being used as defensively behind his base as a wood source. So it's really interesting how that does so many things.
I've played on Punjab quite a few times already so far, and you bring that up, that it can actually be used as a base building mechanism to potentially block incoming enemy units. I had never considered that, and so I kind of want to do that in my next game. I played a little bit of Inca on this map, and Inca especially, is a sort of an AoE2 inspired civilization trying to, construct, it basically playing Sim City. So I definitely want to make use of that Mango Grove. That's a really interesting new mechanic that was added to Punjab. Adapted from the ESOC Arkansas map.
Both players going up to the next stage now. Hazza going up with the Philosopher Prince here. Interesting. So not looking to get that tower. Against Russia, I would often feel like that tower is quite a safe thing to get, but Hazza, maybe he feels okay, doesn't need it. He's got plenty of under his base, and it'll certainly help him get a few more units out sort of quickly and early on. Russia, though, switching back over to him, going up with the Quartermaster as we sort of expected he would, and starting to eat some of those yaks as well. Not going to let them fatten, instead just going to eat them now for the extra food boost, which will ramp him into some additional units very, very quickly. Blockhouse going up in the center of the map here. Hazard to get a couple of sieging units on it. Look at, here's the Mango Grove. He's going to see everything from this blockhouse.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's got 12 line of sight, so...
That is some inventive play there.
Yeah.
That is actually superb.
I don't think it will be around for too long, but I mean, for now, it can be used to scout, yeah.
Wait. Is the Mango Grove able to be sieged?
No, it's indestructible. It's invulnerable.
That's a really interesting play that I really like out of Hazza, because having knowledge of, what units that the Russian player is training, and when they get out those batches is really important to gauging, the type of units, the composition that you should mix as the British player. You can see Hazza starting with a stable and a barracks here already. I mean, with that 500 wood, really I think we might, we're even seeing the 700 coin coming in now. So he's going for a pretty aggressive build order himself, actually.
This is for Russia,
the Russian player.
Pardon me, I confused
My
you.
bad.
No, I was looking at the right. I tried to switch to the right one. No, you're right. There are 700 coin on the floor.
Yeah, so it seems they're actually doing very similar
They're both
build
sending
orders,
it.
but I think the British player might be coming out ahead here, because not only does he have, they both have a building to produce infantry with, the Russian, the blockhouse, the British, the barracks here, but Hazza also has the stable already on the board, and a batch of 5 hussars is going to pop out as well. So we can see some really aggressive colonial age play for Hazza here, the British player, which is kind of atypical. That's not usually what you expect of a very economic focused civilization like British, but really, really effective against Russia, which can actually kind of struggle early game to get out a sizable, massive units.
Yeah, there's not really been any units just yet from Hazza. He opened with 700 coin, didn't send, often we see 5 Cossacks as the opening, didn't go for that, so this is sort of a lot slower. I just want to comment
especially-
on the Mango Grove. Why was it given line of sight? Well, it always had line of sight. It just never was a problem before because you had to play India to get a hold of it. But now you start with one on this map, and suddenly it's become a line of sight. The more interesting thing, though, is these Strelets being massacred.
Yeah, the first batch, a Gambit. I don't think Breeze went all the way in with his Explorer, or maybe his Explorer was elsewhere around the map. Probably didn't know that Hazza started with a stable here, and so basically sacking 500 resources in these Strelets. And the only other thing he has on the board at the moment is 5 Musketeers. He's got 5 more Musketeer. Cossacks on the way, but this is a very deadly push from the British player on this blockhouse. It's going to be 10 Hussars, 10 Musketeers against 10 Russian Musketeers, weaker than normal, and 5 Cossacks. Ooh, hitting the blockhouse and getting surrounded. Snared right at the beginning there.
Yeah, that's not looking too good. Those muskets just getting cleaned up. They're snared there by the cavalry. All these muskets sort of just ram them down. And now up in the top here, the Hussars catching the snare on those Cossacks. The muskets trying to fight, and so the Cossacks, you kind of have to. You can't escape. Just jamming everything in there. But the British build order was just make as many units as possible as quickly. Age up with 500 food, send 700 coin first, and just spam units from 2 production buildings. I don't need manners. Or very few manners. He's going to have to build some more houses very soon because he's running out of pop, but normally that's not the case as British. Normally you're building manners for settlers, not for population. But 700 wood on the way, either way, is going to remedy that issue. And now he's killed all the units. He's just going to siege down this blockhouse. And I think ageofkiller, starting 700 coin there, didn't work out too well against him.
That was a 7-minute game, and a 2-0 series for Hazza is going to score a point for, I believe, the Little Lieutenant Colonels, and that puts them actually in the lead. Despite starting 1-0 down, Kaiser Klein winning the first match of the day for the Garjonians, the Lieutenant Colonels are actually in the driver's seat at the moment with this series win from Hazza.
And there you have it. But, yeah, very, very quick series. Not like the ones we casted earlier. This was an exceptionally fast 2 games. But Hazza, I think, pleased with himself. 2 easy